So in January, I brought you a big old stack of books for my TBR. A lot of them were ones that I had to read in January, and some were ones that I rolled over from the end of 2025. I have not finished working my way through that stack just yet, but I am here to add 7 books that I'm hoping to read in February. So we're currently undergoing a major renovation in our home. We're having our bathroom completely ripped out, redone and fitted, and actually like literally right now it's happening. So I apologize if you hear any background noise, but actually they've been pretty quiet, which is nice. Essentially my whole life revolved around that for part of the month, and it set me back a little bit. So you guys haven't even seen your January episode of Shelve It or Scrap It yet, which I do apologize for, but I am working on it. I'm making very good progress on it, and hopefully you shall see it very soon. But that also obviously had a knock-on effect to what I read in the rest of January. So throughout January and February, I'm essentially just going to be adding the stack of books we're talking about today to the stack of books I have left over from January, and hopefully this will be the month that we make some progress. I don't have anything super dramatic on the agenda, which will hopefully help. But before we get into my stack of February hopefuls, I would like to talk to you guys about the sponsor of today's video, which is Ana Luisa. So Ana Luisa are an affordable and durable jewelry brand that mix style with sustainability. As a company, they have been CO2 neutral since 2020, and from raw material sourcing all the way to end of life, 100% of the CO2 emissions generated in the crafting of every piece of their jewelry has been offset, making every piece of your Ana Luisa collection carbon invisible. The great thing about Ana Luisa is that their designs are timeless. They have cohesive ranges across their site for those of you guys who like a matching set, but all of their pieces are sleek and stylish, which makes it really easy to mix and match across their different lines. I am somebody who likes to mix and match and layer their jewelry for a bit of a more interesting look, and Ana Luisa offer more bold and eye-catching pieces if you're looking to make a statement, or a little bit more subtle if you just want to add some sparkle to an everyday look, which is kind of what I'm going for today. Today I'm wearing my new Lev pendant paired with a thin chain from an Ana Luisa layering set I've had for years. In my ears I have my newly acquired Julia hoops, providing a chunky contrast to my more delicate Oshi hoops, which are probably my favorite and most worn pair of earrings. I have been working with Ana Luisa for years now, and I can confirm that when looked after properly, Ana Luisa jewelry lasts a lifetime. But if you don't want to just take my word for it, Ana Luisa also offer a 2-year warranty so that you can rest assured that you are purchasing quality. And with all of that, you also get a really great price because Ana Luisa is also affordable, with pieces starting at $50, making them a great option for a treat yourself moment or the perfect gift for a loved one. And if you're looking for something a little extra special, they also offer solid gold options as well as lab-grown diamonds. So if you want to grab your first Ana Luisa pieces today or add to your existing collection, then don't miss out and head to the link in my description box to add a little bit of sparkle to your new year. A big thank you to Ana Luisa for sponsoring this one. So in terms of what I'm going to be reading in February, first off, we will start with the book club because I feel like that's where we always start. And I only have one book to read this month, which is for my Patreon book club, and that is Slaying the Shadow Prince by Helen Shora. This one is a standalone spin-off to the Legends of Thesmar series. I think that you can read it just by itself. You don't have to read it in conjunction with the Legends of Thesmar, but I did hear that the best place to read it if you are reading those two in conjunction is after the second book, Vows and Ruins. And this one is about a woman who has to team up with the Shadow Prince to slay some evil shadow wraiths that are responsible for killing her family. So we have a revenge plot, maybe enemies to lovers. He's the Shadow Prince, which makes me feel like he's a bad guy, but I'm pretty sure she's working with him. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm not a massive fan of standalones in any kind of fantastical respect, but maybe I'll enjoy this one because I do like Helen Shora. I also have 3 arcs that are due in February, and I am so excited to get to these 3. These are the 3 most exciting arcs that I have in my lineup for 2026 so far. The first one is released right at the beginning of February, and I've heard amazing things about it, and that is A Stage Set for Villains by Shannon J. Span. This one was sent to me by Penguin Michael Joseph, so thank you very much to Penguin for that. But this one is a romantasy story. It features a competition. It's set within a theatre or a play, I think. Honestly, I've said this before, reading fantastical synopses without context, sometimes I just don't retain them at all. And this one I am struggling with, but somebody is cursed by a player or a performer in the playhouse, and she has to infiltrate it to try and find a way to break her curse. I think that you can also maybe kill the performers to steal their power. So it sounds very interesting. I've heard that this one's really twisty and I'm excited to get to it. For I think the week after a stage set for villains, I have Operation Bounce House by Matt Dinnerman that was also sent to me by Penguin Michael Joseph. So once again, a big thank you to them. I'm really excited for this one because I really want to see what Matt Dinnerman is like outside of the Dungeon Crawler Carl world. I am currently 4 books deep into Dungeon Crawler Carl, and I do have to say, based on the synopsis of this one, it does sound like very much of the same, but this one is set on a planet and an evil corporation has decided to run, do they call it an extinction program? An eviction action, which is essentially an extinction program, and they charge bored earthers a fee to design war machines that will annihilate the population of this planet. And our main character, who runs a ranch of agriculture robots, has to team up with other people on his planet to fight back. So very similar themes to Dungeon Crawler Carl, a little bit of a game-like structure, and I'm assuming we're going to get some of the same humor in here as well. The one that I am by far the most excited about is released on the 17th of February. This one is an indie that is being traditionally published, and I've only heard amazing things, and that is Of Blood and Fire by Ryan Carhill. So this one is, I'm assuming, a multi-perspective high epic fantasy story. This book is quite modest, book one, in comparison to the rest of the installments in the series, I believe, but this one has been compared to John Gwynne, Wheel of Time, somewhat maybe unfortunately, and also Aragon. We have Dragon Guard in here, who are these like legendary warriors, assumingly having something to do with dragons. I think that they're also treaters, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be a war story. We have some turmoil bubbling under the surface. Once again, as it's high epic fantasy, the actual synopsis has gone right over my head. I won't be able to tell you anything about it until I start it, but I'm very excited to do so, and this one I am guaranteed to be reading either just before, on, or around somewhat its release, and I'm very, very excited to do so. I guess we'll do the last of my more mandatory reads, which is going to be my February Patreon pick. This has been restocked recently, which I'm very excited about. I should have reshuffled it, which I haven't done though, so I'm just going to do that now. And the new paper colour that we have for 2026 is pink. Some of the books that my patrons have recently added are ones that I'm very excited about, but we do also have quite a few chunky numbers that have made their way into this mug, and I'm a little bit concerned, but let's see what February's book is going to be. This one, oh my days, this is purple, which essentially means this is super old. Bonesmith by Nikki Paupreto. This isn't super old actually. I do think that this is a relatively old edition though. Okay, I'm gonna go brave the renovation upstairs to dig this one out so we can talk about it. So this one is a Fairy Loot book from August 2023. My, how time flies. But it is one that I've heard really, really good things about, and one that I've been intrigued about for a while. This one is about warriors called bonesmiths who fight ghosts, and for some reason the main character is tasked with crossing the breach to find a kidnapped prince of one of the houses of this society, and in doing so she ends up teaming up with one of the kidnappers, who is a member of the house that is the sworn enemy of the house that that prince is from, I think. So it sounds interesting. Like I said, I've heard really good things, and thank you so much, Kitty, for making me prioritize this one, because I have a lot of subscription box that I need to get around to sometime, hopefully soon. As it is the month of love, I feel like we need to throw some romance in here, so I am really hoping to reread The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. I read this, I want to say like back in 2022. I had COVID at the time, and I spent a whole weekend in bed reading romance. It was a great time and I discovered my favourite contemporary romance of all time, which was The Hating Game. And Fairy Loot have since released a special edition of this, which I have, but I kept hold of the paperback because I wanted to annotate it, and I just feel like I'm never getting around to it. I also want to do the same for The Love Hypothesis and Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. I've never really annotated a book before in my life. Sometimes I put tabs in to reference for live shows and things like that, but I've never actually like highlighted or written in a book, and so I kept my paperback edition so I could do just that. And now is hopefully finally going to be the time that I tackle that. We'll see how it goes. I think that contemporary romance is a really good genre for me to try and annotate because I feel like I have, especially with it being my favorite contemporary romance, more of a connection and emotional reaction to the text. And also knowing how this book plays out, I'm really excited to reread the beginning. But for those of you who don't know what this one is about, it is a rivals to lovers story following two people who work for a publishing company that has merged. So it was two separate companies and they both have the same job at the respective companies, but they've merged and they essentially both really represent the ethos of their company. So the one that Josh works for is like a money-making machine that sees books as something to be sold for profit as opposed to art, and our main character Lucy has the opposite opinion, that books are art and that is what should be prioritized over their capacity for profit. And one day there's a new job opportunity, a promotion opportunity for these two, and they essentially end up competing for it, which puts them in even closer quarters where they have to hash out their problems with each other. I absolutely adored this one. I think about it all the time and I'm so excited to revisit it. And then the last book we're going to talk about is a little bit of a long shot, but I thought I would throw it in here anyway, and that is The Republic of Salt by Ariel Kaplan, which is the second book in the Mirror Realm cycle. So in January I selected my new reread and resume series, which was of course the Mirror Realm cycle, and so I put The Pomegranate Gate on my January TBR. I have not read that as of yet. It's a very low priority of all of the books that I have left off my January TBR, but on the off chance that I do get around to finishing that one up, my book for February will be The Republic of Salt. So this one is set in a fantastical version of medieval Spain at the time when Christianity was forcing Jewish people to either convert or to flee the city. So our two main characters choose to flee and they are leaving in a caravan when one of them is ushered off the side of the road and ends up going through a portal into a mirror realm. The other main character sees this happen, and so he seeks out her grandmother so that they can team up and try and get her back from the Pomegranate Gate in this alternate dimension. Meanwhile, she is in the thick of the politics of this mirror realm, which very closely resembles what is happening in the real world. I just thought if I reread The Hating Game, that's going to be 2 rereads potentially in 2 months for me, which is nice because I used to reread a lot and I don't feel like I do anymore. But those are 6 of these 7 books that I hope to read in February. We will of course be adding Slaying the Shadow Prince by Helen Shura onto here as well, which I have on Kindle Unlimited. That one is actually getting a trad pub release, I think 2 days after my birthday this year. If anybody's been looking to pick it up or start the Helen Shura journey and would like to do so with a standalone. But down in the comments, let me know if you've read any of these, which ones you enjoyed the most, which ones you think that I am most likely to enjoy. I am hoping to make it through. I've already made a little bit of a dent in my January TBR. Ideally going into February I will have already finished at least half of it, so then adding these ones on won't be quite so bad. But if you guys would like to let me know you were here and you don't feel like you have anything to say, leave me some sort of like planet or space emoji for Operation Bounce House by Matt Dinnerman. Once again, a big thank you to Ana Luisa for sponsoring this one, and please don't forget that you can head to the link down in my description box to check out Ana Luisa for yourself to add a little bit of sparkle to your new year. But aside from that guys, please don't forget to like this video if you liked it and subscribe if you wanna. If you head into my description box, you'll find a link to my Goodreads, my Instagram and my Patreon if you'd like to follow me on any of those. But that's it from me today guys. Bye!
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you'll go where nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.